Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us here this evening. It's a very special presentation. My name is David Mustin and I'm the Director of Communications for the Dearborn Public Schools. You know, we all know that every child learns a little bit different, and our teachers do a great job of differentiating that instruction in the classroom to meet those learning needs of every single child. In the Dearborn Public Schools, we like to also offer opportunities for children to learn differently, and give them options. This starts with our very youngest children in our preschool programs, our GSRP programs. It extends through elementary and middle school, and then, of course, high school. And we get to that point where we know the children and our students are going to have to face a lot of different options, and they are going to take a lot of different paths as they move through those high school years, eventually leaving us and moving on into the real world, right? But I think we all know we are in the real world, even right here in the schools. So tonight we are going to provide you with a little bit of information about all of those options that are available to our high school students. Starting really actually in ninth grade and extending through all 4 grades and even into a 13th grade with some of our programs that we offer. This presentation is done live. Our staff brings it live. They go on tour live to our middle schools and high schools to bring this information to students and parents. But given all the COVID situation going on, we thought that it might be a good idea to bring it to you live, virtually. And we are streaming tonight on our Dearborn Public Schools Facebook page. We're also streaming live on our Dearborn Public Schools YouTube channel, as well as broadcasting on our 2 cable channels as well. So we hope that everybody has that opportunity to take a few moments and be part of our program tonight and ask questions. We have made a form live as well on our website where you can submit questions, or if you want to submit them in the chat on the Facebook page, you can do that as well. We may not get to every question tonight that pops up, but we will take those questions and put them out there and eventually answer them for you and get in touch with you to answer those questions if you leave some contact information. We're going to be here for about an hour and a half till 8 o'clock and kind of respect everybody's time. We will sign off at 8 o'clock, but we do have a lot to get to and we have a lot to cover. So I'm going to get right to that. And joining me here on set is my friend Benar. Benar, thank you for being here this evening.
أهلا وسهلا بالجميع. أنا بس بدي أعطيكم فكرة مختصرة عن الاجتماع اليوم واللقاء، فبشكر الجميع على حضورهم وإن شاء الله ما بنتخطى الوقت المحدد لنا. سبب اللقاء اليوم مثل ما قال السيد ديفيد إنه نحن عندنا كثير من البرامج اللي بنقدمها لطلاب المرحلة الثانوية بداية من المرحلة الإعدادية، بيقدروا الطلاب من خلالها يتعرفوا على رغباتهم، على الوظائف اللي بيحبوا يشتغلوها، على دراستهم المستقبلية. فهي البرامج كلها مجموعة اليوم في عدد كبير من المعلمين اللي موجودين معنا بدهم يحكوا عن هاي البرامج بالتفصيل. فأنا بس رح أعطيكم فكرة مختصرة عن الموضوع. كل العروض اللي بدكم تشوفوها اليوم، كل المعلومات الخاصة بهاي البرامج بالتفصيل متوفرة باللغة العربية، وإذا في حدا بيعرف إنه في أي شخص بحاجة لهاي المعلومات بغير لغة يا ريت يتصل فينا ويخبرنا ونحن بنقدر نقدم له إياها. وكمان رح تكون معروضة على الوسائل التواصل الاجتماعي الخاصة بالقطاع التعليمي تبعنا إن شاء الله بوقت قريب. فكل هاي الأشياء موجودة لإلكم. إذا عندكم أي سؤال حول المعلومات اللي بدكم تسمعوها اليوم فيكم تتصلوا بمكاتب المدرسة. كتير أسهل عليكم، كل شخص يتصل بمكتب مدرسته لحتى يسأل السؤال اللي عنده، وبيقدروا يا أما يجاوبوكم على السؤال أو يوجهوكم للشخص المسؤول. فاليوم مثل ما قلنا بدنا نحكي عن الخيارات التعليمية لطلاب المرحلتين الإعدادية والثانوية اللي بتقدمها مدارس ديربون. الخيارات هي صفوف المستوى المتقدم والتسجيل المزدوج. هلأ حنحكي عن بعض منهم بالتفصيل، والبعض الآخر مثل ما قلت لكم متوفرين على كل المواقع الإلكترونية الخاصة بالقطاع. صفوف المستوى المتقدم، التسجيل المزدوج، مركز ديربون للرياضيات والعلوم والتكنولوجيا، مركز مايكل بيري المهني والتعليمي المهني والتقني، كلية هنري فورد المبكرة وأكاديمية هنري فورد كوليجيت. 35% من طلابنا بمدارس ديربون الرسمية، يعني بما يعادل 2398 طالب بيستفيدوا من أحد هذه الخيارات، فبينضموا لواحد أو أكثر من هي البرامج اللي بتساعدهم على الإعداد الوظيفي والمستقبلي. صفوف المستويات المتقدمة هي صفوف اللي تعتبر مستواها عالي جدا، بتكون مختلفة، يعني المواد اللي تقدم بالمدارس مختلفة حسب كل ثانوية شو بتعرض. من الأفضل إنه إذا أنتم مهتمين بصفوف المستويات المتقدمة تحكوا مع الموجه أو المستشار المدرسي، وهو بيقدر يدل الطلاب أكثر على ويوجههم على المكان الصحيح. ميزة هي الصفوف إنه الطفل أو الطالب بيحصل على رصيد تعليمي جامعي اللي بنقول له كريدت. لما بيجتاز اختبار تحديد المستوى المتقدم بعلامات بتكون بين 3 4 أو 5، طبعا حسب متطلبات الجامعة. في جامعة بتقبل اجتياز اختبار تحديد المستوى بعلامة 3، وفي جامعات ما بتقبل إلا بعلامة 5، فحسب ما بتكون الجامعة عندها قبول. الدخول بهي الصفوف هو التزام لمدة عام كامل، فالطالب المفروض أنه يلتزم فيه عام كامل مع إمكانية وجود أعمال بيقوم فيها بالفترة الصيفية أو مشاريع يشتغل عليها بالفترة الصيفية. مستوى المواد المدرسة في هذه الصفوف هو مستوى تعليمي جامعي عالي، يعني الطالب بيدرس المعلومات اللي تدرس في الجامعات. التسجيل المزدوج هو لما الطالب بيكون بالمدرسة الثانوية بالمرحلة الثانوية وكمان بيقدر ياخذ صف أو صفين بالكلية. فبتدرس هي صفوف الجامعية مثل ما قلنا بتدرس خلال المرحلة الثانوية. القطاع التعليمي بيدفع جزء من هي التكلفة إلا إذا كانت الصفوف معروضة بجامعة هنري فورد، فقطاعنا التعليمي بيكون مسؤول عن دفع كامل رسوم التسجيل والدراسة فيها. يسمح للطالب إنه ياخذ لغاية 10 صفوف بالجامعة أثناء دراسته بالمدرسة الثانوية. لازم كمان يكون الطالب مستوفي جميع الشروط والمؤهلات اللي بتطلبها الجامعة واللي بيطلبها قطاع ديربون التعليمي ليقدر يدخل على ويسجل بالكلية. وممكن كمان إنه المدرسة تطلب من الطالب إنه يدرس هاي المواد المعروضة بالجامعة بالمدرسة أولاً قبل ما ياخدها على مستوى أعلى بالكلية. صفوف مرتبة الشرف، هي الصفوف بتختلف شوي عن صفوف المستوى المتقدم، واللي هي بيكون المحتوى المدرس بهي الصفوف هو محتوى عالي وأكثر صعوبة من الصفوف العادية. بتتوفر هي الصفوف بمواد اللغة الإنجليزية والرياضيات والعلوم، موجودة بمدرستي بثانويتي أتسلفورد وفورتسون. مو موجودة حاليا بالكامل بثانوية ديربون، لكن ديربون عندها بعض الإمكانيات اللي بتخلي الطلاب قادرين إنهم يسجلوا بهدول الصفوف وينضموا إلهم. هذا الشيء اللي أنا بقدر أشرح لكم إياه اليوم. بقية البرامج اللي حكينا عنها إضافة إلى هذا العرض رح يتقدموا باللغة الإنجليزية بعد شوي. برجع بذكركم إذا عندكم أي سؤال يا ريت تراجعوا المدرسة، تراجعوا مستشار الطالب، وجميع هاي المواد رح تكون متوفرة باللغة العربية على مدونات المدارس وصفحة القطاع، وطبعا فيكم تسألوا دائما المدارس عليها. شكرا كثير لحضوركم، وبنتمنى انه تستمروا معنا وتحضروا اللقاء للنهاية لأنه في غاية الأهمية والإفادة للطلاب وللأهالي. شكرا كثير. Back to you, David.
Well said.
Thank you.
She said it
Thank you.
perfect. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Thank you.
But you said it so much better than I could ever say it. So
Thank you so
you,
much.
Bernard.
Thank
We
you
very
so
much
much.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, and it's important that, you know, we do have language translation available at all of our schools. It's an important thing that's the right thing to do to meet the needs of our parents and our students.
Exactly.
And so thank you for all that you do to serve our students.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
So next up, I am going to introduce our Executive Director of Student Achievement and Instruction. She is one of 3 Executive Directors with that title, Shannon Peterson. She oversees the Forts and Feeder track, and she also is very much involved in all of these high school options that we have. So Shannon, I'm going to turn it over to you, and you can share a few things that we have going on.
All right. Well, we're very lucky in Dearborn because we have lots of secondary options for our students. So Every one of our high schools has a little bit different programming depending on the interest of the students, but also as a district, we have lots of options for our students. Advanced placement courses, dual enrollment, honors courses, Michael Berry Career Center, and our career tech education programs, which also encompass programs at individual schools. We have our early colleges, there's 3 now, and then we have our collegiate academy program. So there's lots of options depending on what your child wants to go into. 35% or just under 2,400 of our students take advantage of one or more of these options. And it used to be a student had to choose if they wanted to go into if they wanted to attend a DCMST, then they couldn't do the collegiate academy. And we no longer really make a child choose. If they can fit it into their schedule and if they can handle the rigor and be successful, we will allow them to do as much as possible while they're with us. So advanced placement courses are offered at all of our high schools. Depending on enrollment, sometimes students will have to choose to take something like this in a Michigan virtual class, but most of our high schools have advanced placement U.S. history and advanced placement government and language and lit. But some of the specialty courses like advanced placement environmental science, sometimes they have to take those online. These are year-long courses. They are college level, they're rigorous, and a student takes these for a full year. There's usually summer work, which always got my own children into trouble because they didn't always like to do summer work ahead of time, but it is part of the responsibilities for a course like this. At the end of the school year, they take an advanced placement course, test, an exam, and if they get a 3, 4, or 5, then they will get college credit, depending on the college they attend. Some colleges will accept a 3, some colleges will accept the score of a 4, and a few only accept a score of 5. But advanced placement is a way to earn college credit while attending high school. We have dual enrollment. Dearborn has a great dual enrollment program. Most of our students take courses at Henry Ford College, although we do have some that will take them at U of M Dearborn Creative Center, Center for Creative Studies. But the district pays 100% of the tuition at Henry Ford College because of the tuition rate. If a student qualifies and chooses to take a course at U of M Dearborn, then the family has to pay the difference. The district is only allowed to pay a certain portion. We have about 2,000 dual enrollment courses taken every semester, and our students do very well. These are semester-long courses, and they start a student's college transcript, and they also count for high school credit as well. Students can take up to 10 dual enrollment courses while they're in high school. If they wish to take more, then we have to have a special agreement with the college, and as long as they're successful in the courses they're taking, we're happy to support the student in that. Honors courses are also offered at our high school. Etzel, Ford, and Fortson have honors courses outright. Students qualify for those with their grades and their test scores in middle school. Dearborn High has a path to earn honors credit in language arts, math, and science. So these are also opportunities. They're not college credit, they are just accelerated and more rigorous coursework. Next, we have Dr. Green, who's going to discuss the Dearborn Center for Math, Science, and Technology.
Hello. My charge for this evening is to talk about the programs that we offer at our Dearborn Heights campus. Okay, at the Dearborn Heights Center, first we have the Dcmst, which is the Dearborn Center for Math, Science, and Technology. And this is a half-day program, a center-based program where the students spend a half day with us at the Heights campus and a half day at their home high school. The students have an interest in STEM programs. The Dearborn Center for Math, Science, and Technology has a project-based learning approach. Those students are there with us for a half day. The format really for DCMST, we have the juniors and seniors that spend the morning sessions with us, and they have a little bit more options of what classes they would take. The 9th and 10th graders come in the afternoon after spending the morning in their home high schools, and they take a more of a scripted program. They are taking honors biology, honors chemistry, accelerated mathematics. Those juniors and seniors that I spoke about before, many of them are taking dual enrollment, and many of the AP type classes that Ms. Peterson mentioned earlier. Some of the classes are somewhat different at DCMST than they would be at the home high school. We have the Michael Berry Career Center. You'll hear more about that program as well from Dr. John Bayerl, as well as Mrs. Kimberly Shawver, who's going to talk a little bit more in depth about the DCMST. We also have a small alternative program, Dearborn Magnet High School. Those students have been separated from their cohort group in the comprehensive high schools, and they're there to try to catch up on credit, and they are very committed to graduating from high school. So they spend a full day with us at the Dearborn Magnet High School, and they are diligently working on trying to recover credit and do what they need to do to graduate from high school. We also have a high school PACES program, special education. Ms. Rachel True and her students, they are focusing on a simulation, a work-based simulation in some areas such as business and construction to learn about work and after high school. Some of our other programs, so we have a lot going on at our Heights campus. We're very proud, and it's a lot of things going on each day. So we have adult and communications, adult and community education, which is a very comprehensive adult education and community program that classes are going on during the day and also in the evening. We have a STEM middle school, a National Blue Ribbon School that we're quite proud of as well. It is a middle school focused on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics as well as the DCMST. Those students are interested, they apply. We're actually going through that admissions process as well for sixth graders coming into STEM. So that process, those people that have applied, those families will soon know if their students will be attending STEM for next school year as well. There's also Howe Montessori Elementary programs at the Heights campus as well as Howe Special Education. So next, Dr. John Bayerl. Ms. Kimberly Shawver will be next to talk a little bit more in detail about the programs at the Dearborn Center for Math, Science, and Technology. Ms. Shawver.
Good evening, and thanks for having me this evening. I'm here to tell you a little bit more about the Dearborn Center for Math, Science, and Technology. DCMST is a specialized secondary education center with a 4-year advanced research-based science, math, and computer science-based curriculum. DCMST is a STEM program designed to prepare your student for a 4-year university degree. At DCMST, we have many unique course offerings, including AP classes that start in the 9th grade. They continue on in the 10th grade. There are more AP options when the students are juniors and seniors, and when the students are upperclassmen. They're often encouraged and take the opportunity to take dual enrollment classes that are STEM related. So if your child is interested in medicine, becoming a doctor, nursing, pharmacy, computer science, research, or going into a pure science, DCMST is the place for you. So right now, we are currently accepting applications for candidates for next year's 9th grade class. Potential DCMST candidates are current 8th graders. They can be in our district, and we even take students from outside our district. but you have to be planning on attending Dearborn, Etzel, or Fortson High School. You have to successfully complete Algebra 1 in the 8th grade. So if you are not currently taking Algebra 1, then there'll be an opportunity for you maybe when you're a junior to apply and join our program then. But if you are in 8th grade, you need to be in Algebra 1 and you need to successfully pass it. We are looking for students that have really strong grades in math, science, and language arts, along with good test scores as well. We're also looking for students who want to be challenged and are very much interested in math, science, and working with computers and computer applications. And again, we're looking for students who plan to go to the university for a 4-year degree in a STEM-related field. All right. So if you're wondering how we select DCMST students, our selection is based on your Math Common Assessment score, your standardized tests, and this year we'll be using the NWEA, and also your GPA. We normally take 90 students. That's our ideal 9th grade class number, 3 classes of 30. If more students qualify and apply than we have spots for, our selection will be based on lottery. So now I want to tell you what it would be like for you to come to DCMST as a 9th grader. This is kind of like a day in the life of a 9th grade DCMST student. You would attend your home high school for the first 3 hours, 1, 2, and 3. You'll be taking maybe your gym class, your language arts, your social studies, or your foreign language, something like that. You'll eat lunch at your home school, then you'll grab a bus, and the bus will transport you to DCMST. So that means you'll be attending in the afternoon along with the 10th graders. At the end of the school day, after your 4th, 5th, and 6th hour, you will take the bus back to your home school, and you will be back in plenty of time to make sure that you are ready for any sports practicing that you might have, or after-school meetings, or marching band practice. A lot of our students are heavily involved in those types of activities, and we'll get you back to your home school in plenty of time to attend those. Next, I would like to take a minute to talk to you about the classes that you will be taking during your 4 years at DCMST. To begin, I wanted to focus in on the 9th grade. For your mathematics, you take Honors Integrated Math. Then you will also be taking Honors Chemistry, and you will also be taking an AP class called AP Computer Science Principles. This is an introductory computer science course. About half of it is programming, and the other half you learn about big data and the internet, how it works, and things of that nature. So right now, this AP course, DCMST is the only place that AP courses are allowed for 9th graders in the district. In the 10th grade, you will take Integrated Math 3, Honors Biology, and an introductory research course called AP Seminar. A little bit more about the math. The math is called an integrated math course, and it will cover Algebra 2 content, Honors Geometry content, and more than half of pre-calc content. So then you will see that in the 11th grade, all of our students take what's called accelerated pre-calculus, which is the remainder of pre-calculus, and they take that in 1 semester. So that allows our juniors the 2nd semester to either dual enroll for Calculus 1, or we also offer a class called Calculus Foundations to prepare you for AP Calculus your senior year. So as an upperclassman, all the students their junior year take Honors Physics, but after that, mostly you will be taking elective courses, either the ones that we offer, many of which are AP courses, or you'll dual enroll at the college for a STEM-based elective course. Right now, our applications are open. If you're interested in applying, I encourage you to go to the DCMST website, click on the link that says DPS applicant information. That's for people who are currently in the district. There's another link available for people who are not currently enrolled in the Dearborn Public Schools, but plan to attend as in the high school. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you for having me. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. John Bayerl, who will be talking to you now about the CTE programs at the Michael Berry Center.
I'm Dr. John Bayerl. I am the Career and Technical Education Supervisor for Dearborn Public Schools, which is a big fancy title. That means I'm oversee all of the elective career-based programs, many of which are centered at the Michael Berry Career Center, and a few of them still live in the comprehensive high schools. So I'm going to go over kind of very brief overview of what those career and technical education courses are, and the very important place they play in our students' lives, and then show you some of the offerings. I am going to mention that the best place to get more information is our Michael Berry website. You can see it there, berry.dearbornschools.org, and on all those black tabs, you can see there's all kinds of information about the programs. There's scheduling resources that'll tell you what counts for what and how things fit together. There's a place for community partners to be involved in our program. Just about everything you can need. We've worked really hard at getting a lot of that material translated. And normally, if I did this presentation in an auditorium, this would take me most of an hour, and I'm going to try and fit it in 10 to 15 minutes. That long form, more detailed description, we actually went into our lecture hall and videotaped it earlier this month, and have posted those videos up online. The nice thing about those, you can closed caption them, you can translate the closed captions, you can replay them. We chop them up in chunks so you can just watch the part you want. So all of that you'll find at berry.dearbornschools.org. And so I'm going to start with what we call our 2 essential scheduling questions. And I'm going to tell you that this applies to DCMST students as well, and to Henry Ford Early College and Collegiate Academy and Dearborn High students and elementary students and everybody else. And as I've been working with Miss Al-Qadri at Fordson High School, she thought it's really important we do this little quick talk I'm about to give you about education with a purpose. And it's about this. You know, as students are signing up for next year's classes right now, there's a difference between what classes or what programs can they take and what classes or programs should they take. So everybody you're going to hear talk tonight, I know shares the same passion I do, which is making sure that your student has the opportunities to get what they need from Dearborn schools to be successful after they graduate. And so that's a big focus of what I'm doing here. This next slide here is what drives all of us. It's the Michigan Merit Curriculum. If you've never seen it put out this way, this is what it means to graduate high school in Michigan. Every single student who graduates meets these requirements. 4 years of language arts, 3 years of math in the senior year, 3 years of science, and on and on and on. I like to tell students when I talk to them, this is what makes us all the same. This is what it means to be a high school graduate. But we have room here in Dearborn for all those elective classes. And these elective classes are what this whole program's about tonight. You know, there are a lot of options you can take. And one option is just take all the very most fun and exploratory, and you perceive them as easy even though they're not classes, and get enough credits to graduate, and then you're a high school graduate. But I'm going to repeat, just like every other high school graduate. Or you can take a more focused approach. You can take a STEM approach at DCMST. You can take a career approach through us. You can take some very specific career approaches through the early college. And it is those elective classes that make you different and unique and marketable and meet your needs. So I'll just sort of sum that up. We call this your educational development plan. It's a fancy term our counselors use, and it's really just a list of what classes make the most sense for you and how do you get through high school. We always say those should be based on 3 things. Your aptitude, what you're good at, right? Because no sense pursuing a career you're not going to be good at. Your interest, Nobody wants to have a boring dead-end job, so we're gonna find classes and courses that are interesting to you as careers. And then your achievement. Are you taking the courses you need to be successful? If you want to be an engineer, but you hate math, we might have to have a talk about what your career options are, because math is a big part of it. And then there's some stuff in here about exploring careers and being aware of them and preparing and training, or in an easier way to say that, in high school, you should challenge yourself. Take an introductory class if you'd like it. Take a class where you get some real good foundation knowledge. If you'd like that, take an advanced class and get yourself something that sets you ahead of the pack. We call that education with a purpose. So in that, we have lots of programs in Dearborn that we call career and technical education. So what are these? They prepare students for high demand, high pay, high skilled jobs in our community. We work very closely with SEMCA and SEMCOG, our local workforce development groups, and we identify what careers, there's a need for. They call it sometimes the talent pipeline. And we develop these programs, these classes and series of classes your students can take. And what sort of sets these career tech ed programs, CTE programs, apart from a traditional high school elective? They're a little more intense, they're a little more involved, and they have some more parts. So I've kind of listed them there. There's going to be a hands-on component to all of them. And, obviously this year we've taken a big hit with COVID, and that's been the part that's been very difficult to get to kids. I like to use the example of welding. We have some kids who are going to take welding virtually all year this year, and they're going to have a certain amount of knowledge about welding. But as far as being marketable out in the industry, they've never held a welding torch in their hand. And that's an essential part of it. I can tell you, because I know it will come up in questions, that all of us here are planning to be back to face-to-face instruction next year. There's a lot of time between now and then, and as we've learned this year, things can change. But I will tell you that all of us, that's our first plan. We would like to be hands-on because we need to do that to prepare our students. All of our CTE courses have work-based learning. That can be job shadows, having mentors. It can be working an internship. It can be cooperative education where you're working and learning at the same time. All of our programs have a integrated career and technical student organization. You can think of this as a student club. It's where they take what they learn and use it in competitions against other schools. Starts at a regional level, state, national, international. They're all tied to all kinds of scholarship opportunities and a chance for students to have something they can put on a resume and some leadership experience. All of our career tech ed classes have ways for students to earn college credit, whether that be AP or through what we call articulated credit, so that when they start in their college program, they have a little head start on people who did not take a CTE program. And then they offer industry recognized certifications. And these are a broad spectrum. They can be simple things like earning a CPR card in a health science class that just takes a couple of days, or after 3 years of automotive technician, you can apply for, and if you pass it, you can earn the Michigan mechanics license. So you can go work as a mechanic right out of high school. And let me tell you, everything in between, and most of our programs offer multiple certifications. We know that in today's world, no matter what job you take, you're probably going to go on and take some more college classes. These are, the stepping stones to get there. So that brings us to the Michael Berry Career Center. And the Michael Berry Career Center is on the Dearborn Heights campus, as Dr. Green said. And we offer most of our CTE courses there on the Dearborn Heights campus. They are available to all Dearborn 10th, 11th, and 12th grade students. So starting as early as 10th grade, you can talk to your counselor, and as long as you can fit it in your schedule, you can come there. They are free. There is no application or sorting thing. I do say, though, that the one requirement we have is that you're on track to graduate. So if you are an 8th or 9th grade student and something I say today sounds great and interesting and you want to do it, your job is to pass all your classes this year and next year and get yourself ready in 10th grade to be there. We do provide free bus transportation to and from the comprehensive high school, much like Dcmst. Students come to us for half a day. They either come to us in the morning and then take the bus to the high school to finish the day, or vice versa. We run our schedule slightly different. So as Kim said, you can still be in the play, be part of clubs at your school, be in student government, play football for their team. You graduate from them, you walk in their graduation. You're not dropping out of one of the high schools to come there. Our courses are all year-long courses, so they're a full-year commitment. You can't join second semester because you'd be half a semester or half a year behind. And likewise, we can't have everybody drop out after the first semester, and we'll have teachers sitting around doing nothing, and they'll be in overflowing classes at the high school if they go back. So you are signing up for a year. Most of our classes, as I said, are year-long programs, and we've actually structured most of them so that they're 2-year programs, foundational, exploratory level, and then you come back for an advanced skill training second year, and many, many, many students come back for a third year. Dr. Green and I talk often, and the number one comment we get when we talk to our graduating seniors is, I wish I'd have started earlier. I wish I hadn't waited till senior year. I wish I hadn't waited till junior year. I wish I'd have started in 10th grade. Because once they get in, and if they love those programs, they know that they can take that and take it as far as their desire and ambition wants to go. And the last part, as I said, some of our Michael Berry CT programs are offered at the high school because the labs exist there or the teachers are there, or we just don't have physical space for them, so we use some of the rooms at the high school. So I'm going to go over these very quickly. If you go to, berry.dearbornschools.org, I really encourage you to go there. This presentation is there. All these links will work and take you there, or you can find them on the site yourself. And as I said, there's way more information there than I could cover in an hour. So we currently offer these CTE programs in Dearborn. We have an Academy of Business and Hospitality. I think Ms. Peterson talked about that academy model where we take students and help them explore their career interests and get them to take not just one class from every possible department they can find, but try and focus and put some courses together to lead to something. You'll see them here, the 4 academies in Dearborn. Business and hospitality programs, we have 2. We have a culinary arts program, which focuses on preparing students for careers in culinary arts and hospitality. Think resort, cruise ship, fine dining, chef school, culinary TV, things like that. We actually have a student-run restaurant at the Michael Berry Career Center where they learn that. And we have the Dearborn Business Academy, which is a comprehensive business program. Academy of Health Science, we have a very large allied health program. It's roughly half of our CTE students. We all know that this is the #1 career in our region coming up. In the Academy of Human Services, we have a teacher's career program, the Aspiring Dearborn Educators, sometimes called Teacher Cadet, and a criminal justice and law careers program for people interested in public safety and or legal careers. And then a diverse Academy of Industry, Technology, and Innovation. And you can see we have an automotive technician program. We have a computer programming and programmer track in there. We have a digital media and design program, a construction trades program, and a welding technician program. So I'm going to go over these all very briefly. And again, berry.dearbornschools.org, lots of information. The most important thing you'll find there are the instructors' contact information. So our instructors love nothing more than prospective students and parents reaching out to them with questions, maybe sit in on a Zoom lesson. We've put up video tours of the rooms. You can find out lots about these programs. So the Dearborn Business Academy I talked about is really set up as a 3-year program starting in 10th grade. I tell everybody that most high schools would offer one of these programs. They'd have a marketing program, or they'd have a 2-year management program, or they'd have a 2-year accounting program. We've actually structured it so that if you come to the Michael Berry Center starting in 10th grade, you complete all 3 of those programs. And of course, if you were to take a business degree in college or go after your MBA, these are the 3 main topic areas you're going to take. You can look and see what those classes are and how we progress them through marketing and entrepreneurship and technology certificates and accounting. So very, very successful and very large program. I talked to you about the hospitality studies, culinary arts. You come in the first year, they get some basic training in restaurant operation. So they get to do the fun stuff like cook food and wait on tables because we are open to the public. They learn how to run the cash register and be a hostess. They learn all operations. I'm going to be very honest, they also learn to mop the floors and do the dishes and clean because we teach them all aspects of operating a fine dining restaurant. Kids can come back for 2 or 3 hours. We really encourage kids to take that 3-hour option their second year. because it's an hour in the morning, lunch, and an hour in the afternoon, and they actually work the lunch rush in the restaurant. They actually staff the restaurant, and that's where the real hands-on training comes in. Allied Health is our, as I said, largest program. It's designed to be a 2-year program. Many kids take it for 3. It starts out with a 2-hour class called Allied Health you take for a full year at Michael Berry that covers all the basics of medical and health careers. Things like, well, we've all done them this year, wearing masks and washing your hands, but how to take a temperature, blood pressure, some anatomy and physiology, medical terminology. You get that background. They come back a second year and they can take our more advanced classes. We offer programs in medical assisting, dental assisting, sports medicine and physical therapy. We have a clinical rotation that seniors can sign up for. The reason we limit it to seniors is there are only 22 slots in the clinic, and we always have more than 22 students sign up. So the seniors always get first dibs at that. We cannot expand that program because the hospital can't magically make more clinics up here. And we have a pharmacy technician program, again, limited to seniors only. That's because you can, at the end of this class, take the Michigan Registered Pharmacy Technicians, I forget the name of it, the exam, and the company that gives the exam, or the board that gives it, requires you to be 18. So we don't want to give it to you in senior or junior year and have you wait a year or more until you take the exam, because we figure you're going to forget stuff. The number one question I get is, can I just take pharmacy technician senior year? And the answer is no, you need to take Allied Health, because there's a huge part of that exam that is covered in the Allied Health class, and you have to take it. We have a criminal justice and law career. It's taught by a retired police officer, different one that's in this picture. He actually has moved on to bigger and better things. His old training officer is our new officer. She's amazing. 2-year program. Take criminal justice the first year. The second year, you take a mix of advanced criminal justice and forensic science. As I said before, it's about 50% focused on getting into the police academy and a career in police or fire, EMS, something in public safety. And about half the material is relevant to courts and legal careers. So whether you want to be a legal secretary, legal aid, or even apply to law school one day, this is a tremendous foundation in that program. Very successful and growing program. We have an aspiring Dearborn Educators program where we're trying to grow our own replacements, where students would enroll the first year and take child development and child guidance, which currently are only offered at Fordson High School. But I have talked to the principals at Edsel Ford and Dearborn, and if enough students sign up to run these classes, we will make a way to run these at Edsel Ford and Dearborn. In those classes, you learn a little bit how children grow and develop and how children learn. And we started introducing you to the job of a teacher. What's a lesson plan? Why do we put objectives on the board? And this year, how does Schoology work from the teacher side? So you get a little bit of that. The reason students get into this, you would then come back a second and third year, and we would place you with an elementary teacher for 1 hour a day where you would go in and work with that teacher and start learning the job of being a teacher. Not like teacher's aides from when we were young. The intent is you go in and at first you would work with the teacher and learn how they run things. Then maybe you would start helping one student at a time and eventually start helping small groups with lessons. And the goal is at the end of the semester, you're working with the teacher to present a lesson, as the teacher in that class. We are working on some ways to earn some certifications for that. Right now, the requirement is that you do 480 hours of teacher cadet, which is like 6 semesters. So we're going to have to find a way to work around that. But we really are looking at students who come out. You have to be a bachelor's degree to be a teacher in Michigan. But this is a good way to get that credential and start working. Tutoring, enrichment stuff before and after school, childcare, and things like that. We have an auto technician program. It starts out as an elective class. You take a 9th or 10th grade, Auto Tech 1 and 2 for a year. Students who want to go on start taking 2-hour Auto Tech labs, Auto Tech 3, 4, and 5. There's an optional, but everybody takes it, class called Auto Tech 6, where you run the you do oil changes and tire changes and repairs in the auto shops. Students who complete the complete program, at least through Auto Tech 5, as I said, they get to take their Automotive Service Excellence, ASE exams, and we pay for them. They can also go down to the Secretary of State and take the exam for the Michigan Mechanics license, and if they pass it and hand that license to me, I will reimburse them for the cost of taking the test. So that is a great opportunity for students. We unfortunately get a lot of students who take Auto Tech 1, 2, 3, 4, and then decide they want to get a co-op job or they want to take a dual enrollment class, and they don't get that opportunity. I strongly encourage, if you've taken the first 4, take that 5th one and qualify for the license exam and the ASE certificates. We have a construction trades program that starts out Wood Tech 1 and 2, taken in 9th or 10th grade. It introduces you to carpentry skills, basically. In the second year, a very unique program. It currently runs at Edsel Ford and Fordson. I'm actually talking to Dearborn High about how we're going to run it there next year. So it's going to be an option for all students. And it's a great class where they take a construction class and build things, and they take a geometry class, and those two teachers are working together. So we know that question you always ask your math teacher, when am I going to ever use this? The answer in this class is next hour in your construction class. So they might learn about curves, and as you can see in this picture here, they use that knowledge of curves to lay out and build a curved ramp. So everything you do in the geometry class is applied in the construction class. Kids who come back for a third year have a couple of options. Some of them can take advanced wood tech or directed study and work on those skills, but also this is your entryway into those skilled trades programs at Henry Ford Community College. Dual enrollment is not just about general college credits. If you're really interested in a construction career and you've created these or completed these classes, I know that the college will take you into plumbing, electrical, HVAC, heavy machine operator, whatever they have, those construction careers, and also possible pathways into apprenticeship programs through the Michigan Carpenters Union. We have a computer programming sequence. It is actually a career tech ed program that all DCMST kids can take because they're taking AP Computer Science, which is part of it. And if they complete AP Computer Science A, the programming part of it, they're completing that program. And if you're an honors type kid or a kid who really knows computer science, you can do that. You might take computer science discoveries in 9th grade as an elective. You might have taken it in 8th grade, and you can jump right to that AP class if you're ready. It's a big jump, and I'm just warning kids, that's a very tough class to be your first real programming class. As an option, students can take software specialist and get some programming. They can explore programming. They're also going to get some Microsoft certification, some digital design, because software specialist is actually part of our digital multimedia program. But it is a great sort of intermediate course. And then you can come back junior and senior year and take those AP computer science classes. So we're going to call that an alternate pathway. That's a little bit easier to make the jump through. We do have a digital multimedia program, as I said. This is really about 100 programs, it feels like, have come together to be this. And it's everything where you dream up something in your head and then design it and then make it. So I always would say there's 2 skills you have to know. You have to have some art skills because nobody buys ugly stuff. And you have to have some computer skills because everything is designed electronically nowadays. And so this is the pathway to get there. The first year you come in and you take design concepts. We have a 2D and 3D pathway through that. You're going to take them both. And that's the sort of art and design background. You're going to learn the theory. You're going to learn the design process, which is also the engineering process. You're going to learn project management, project planning. You're going to learn some 2-dimensional drawing and electronic drawing skills. You're going to learn some 3-dimensional sculpting and drawing and perspective skills and some 3D modeling and rendering. And then you're going to come into the second year software specialist where you're going to hone those skills and also earn certifications. We do Microsoft Office Specialist, Microsoft Technology Associate, which is also called Microsoft IT Associate. And you also get your Adobe Certified Expert certificates out of that. So if you put them together, you get the complete package. There are some kids who do it backwards. They take software specialist first and then take design concepts. So if you're stronger in computers, you might consider that. Most kids do it this way. And then you can come back a third year and take those advanced design concepts, advanced software specialist, you can jump over into the programming track, or you can jump right into dual enrollment programs in graphic design at Henry Ford College. And we have a welding technician program. It's kind of unique. It runs as a CTE program at Edsel Ford High School. Students at Dearborn who want to take that often can go over there and take it. And there's a slightly different but equal welding program over at Fordson High School. And it really is only Welding Tech 1 and 2. It's 2 classes you take and you learn how to weld. What's unique about this is we decided we couldn't put the $2 million fancy welding lab into the 3 high schools, and it was better if you take Welding Tech 1 and Welding Tech 2 and you've identified that as your career path, we will work with Ms. Peterson and the other executive directors and get you to start the welding program at Henry Ford College as the 3rd class in the sequence. So really our intent is to guide you into that dual enrollment program. So I'm going to finish the same way I started. That was my very brief path through an hour-and-a-half presentation. There is a ton more information up here. As I said, my long-term version and much more in-depth description of all these programs is there. They've been translated, written in Arabic. They are available as videos where you can look at the closed caption and translate into any language. There's a virtual open house page where you can click on and see the instructors' contact info, and many of them have uploaded a short introductory video where you can see what they look like, maybe see their room, see a little bit about their class. They're all slightly different, and all kinds of other information. And of course, you can always contact me with more information. So the next logical step in our path today is going to be talking about career programs that are offered through Henry Ford Early College. So I'm going to introduce you to Miss Carrie Bazzi, who is the counselor over there, and I'm sure she will guide you through this.